On tonight's episode, we talk about Emancipation, the new Antoine Fuqua movie with Will Smith for Apple TV.
As well as the beginning of award season and other pop culture news of the week. So we're actually starting with some sad news today. It was announced earlier this morning that Lisa Marie Presley had been rushed to the hospital, and a few hours later it was announced that she had in fact passed away. It looks like due to cardiac arrest.
Yeah, she was 57, right? I think so, 57.
Well, yeah, pretty young.
Yeah, I can't remember how old Elvis was, but is second generation that dies young.
Dies young.
And she's been recently to the Golden Globes.
Mm-hmm.
She went to the celebration, and Elvis, the Baz Luhrmann movie, was celebrated, won awards. And since the production, she was following the production closely. She liked it. She thought it was very well done. She agreed with how it was being done. But yeah, a couple of days later, she passed.
She did. She is survived by her mother, as well as 3 children. Adult children now. But it's sad. But she was living a very full life,
It's not the children,
right up until the end.
The children are not children with Michael Jackson, right?
I have no idea.
Because she was married to Michael Jackson for a short period. But I think Michael Jackson's kids, he had with a nurse. But anyways.
I have no idea. But either way, she was very busy, very active right up until the end. And we wish all the best for her family and those that survive her.
Yes. As a matter of fact, there's another Elvis movie in production. I think it's the side of from the Priscilla's perspective. Which I don't think is the first one. I think there's one called The King and I, or Elvis and I, something like that. But yeah, I don't know if she was involved, but just a quick bit about the Presleys. Mm-hmm. Anyways, starting our back to our normal. How they say used to say?
Return to our normal programming.
Yeah, returning to our normal programming.
Something like that.
We're gonna start with review of Emancipation, new Antoine Fuqua movie with Will Smith, Ben Foster, and all the great talented people for Apple TV.
Yep, this is a film about
based on a true story about. Do you remember his name? I can't remember his name. Anyways,
Peter, and we say based on a true story. Based on a true story, a lot of the stories of this real man have been, it's like maybe multiple narratives that have been condensed and combined over time that were used in abolitionist propaganda and like abolitionist materials to try to persuade people to end slavery and things. So how much of this actually happened and how much didn't, and how much happened to like different people and got put together, like many historical narratives, is up for grabs. But it's pretty safe to say like things like this and happened to real people a lot, if that makes sense.
Yeah. If anything, there's a photograph, there's a picture, a real picture of this man, I guess according to
Peter.
You, allegedly named Peter, with scars in his back from the
From a beating,
from
his master.
From the whips he suffered as a slave when he was joining the military against
the Union Army.
The Union Army against during the Civil War against slavery. So and they show that in the movie.
They do, and they vividly and graphically portray a lot of the horrors of slavery and some of the horrible things that happened. So, just like I say, like even if all of these things, we don't know necessarily if it happened to this particular man, but we know that these things happened to many other people and were commonplace occurrences and part of the slave trade. So, I would say overall, it definitely counts as historically accurate in my book. It is mostly black and white.
Yes. It is actually not full black and white. Is monochromatic to a point that it looks like black and white most of the time, but there's some scenes that you see a little bit of saturation, which I honestly thought they would do some sort of at the end, color comes, life comes, freedom comes.
That's what I was thinking.
Or he's in the south and he runs to the north, and north has it wasn't nothing gimmicky like that. It was, if anything, I had a coworker that about photography. He used to claim, and I tend to agree, but most of the time disagree. He used to say that in photography, black and white photography, what catches your eye is the subject, is what's in the photo, what's in the photography.
Oh, interesting.
When color might catch your eye, something this color or this color. The color red always catches people's eyes in some ways, but if anything, black and white photography, you have two elements. You have light and shadow. So I still think that, depending on how the photography was taken, your eyes could be taken to the light or to the shadow instead of the subject. So it's arguable. But in this case, it does help the feeling of old, the feeling of history, and it's beautiful. It's really well done. It's not fully black and white, but again, it's Spielberg started this tradition of not going black and white, fully black and white, but suddenly you see color. I'm saying Spielberg did, but in the 1920s, even before that, it was done. But Spielberg was a big one that everybody remembers, the girl in red in Schindler's List. But it's beautifully photographed and costume designed and acting. Will Smith.
Just real quick, something else about the black and white before we move on to the rest. Something notable about the Civil War that's related to photography is this was the first time a war had been widely photographed. And so we have photographers were showing up in camps. They were walking around battlefields during and after. And so we have photographs of the carnage and the devastation and all this. Whereas other wars before that, it was just narratives, things that were written, paintings that were done way after the fact. This time we actually have photographs of what had actually happened. And they're all black and white, of course. And so I wonder too if that historical fact and that moment in journalism and photography kind of influenced their decision to do it all black and white. Anyway.
And also there's the dualism of black and white,
Sure.
There was a war to free the slaves, and there was the black slaves, and there were white people against it. So in some ways was the war against white against black. So there's so many ways that the whole black and white could be interpreted, analyzed. Either way, the aesthetic choice for the movie does work. It's beautifully done. It
never felt gimmicky or distracting or anything, and it really is beautiful the way that it works with light and shadow and all the rest.
Yeah, and Antoine Fuqua proved more than once that he's a terrific director. And the movie from beginning to end, it's about the struggle, it's about suffering, it's about fighting for emancipation and freedom that comes with it, and
the hope in the face of despair.
Yeah,
which is a pretty powerful theme.
And there's no again back to the black and white. There's no colorful moment. There's no silly joke. There's no light moment until the emancipation is achieved. But to get there's a lot of suffering. There's a lot of struggle.
There is, and we see all of it. There are, so we have really just like the one main character, Will Smith or Peter. He is playing a man who had been born in a Haitian man who had ended up in Louisiana as a slave, and then he had a family, he had a wife, he had beautiful children, but then the Confederacy impressed him and other slaves. Like they basically forced Peter's slave owner to give several slaves to the Confederacy to help build a railroad. And so we see this family getting torn apart. It helps set up his motivations. We see that he's a man of deep faith, and almost, I would say, stubborn faith even. We see him working then in this Confederate camp. We see the slave catchers, the men who would go run after runaway slaves, the dogs, all of that. And then just the way they depict it, like, you really feel, it's just so vivid, and yeah, you really like feel the things he suffers. I see, like, he's running away through a swamp. You feel like the heat and the mud and the humidity and like the pain and the infection, the disease, like all these horrible things that he went through. And there's not a ton of dialogue necessarily, but there's a lot of really good visual storytelling, and that helps you see that how he went through all this, and then also the way his faith and his like determined hopefulness like helped him get through. Hopefulness, not like he's cheerful. He's not like, nope, everything's gonna be okay. Like, he's not thrilled or happy about any of this, but he keeps pushing forward even though everything is terrible and going wrong. And how even the smallest shred of hope, like, he overhears a conversation that Lincoln's army is in Baton Rouge, and if a slave gets there, they're free. He just overhears that, and that's all he needs to risk everything to get there and to fight for his family. And it's a really powerful story.
Not an easy journey. It's really far.
Yeah.
But the spark of hope moves him with his faith to get back to his family. That's the only thing he wants. And it's a beautiful journey. It's the movie is long, but it doesn't feel like it. It tells a story. Sweet and straight to the point. There's no time for deepen into characters that will not follow him in his journey. So it's mostly about him. We do get to know the people, or the characters, but it's very en passant because there's no time to waste. When the focus is that story, and the story is told, and
as focused as it was, I thought they did an incredible job of showing how the Southerners who were part of this whole institution of slavery, whether it was like the catchers, the owners, just like the family members who weren't really actively involved, but it really showed the extent to which they had completely dehumanized these enslaved people, and it was, I thought that was remarkable. How just like a few lines in one scene, there's one character who says one word a few times, but it just like so vividly shows how these people, the little girl, she's like, runner. Yeah.
Okay.
But the way they showed it, like, this little girl doesn't even see him as a person. She doesn't see a person or a human or a man. And I just thought that was interesting and really effectively done. It wasn't heavy-handed at all. It just, like I said, these are sort of like peripheral to his actual story. But it was, just lots of good storytelling and good filmmaking happening here. Was what that all was to say. So,
yeah. What else?
I don't want to like.
Well,
I've already used the word vividly like 12 times. So I hope that I have vividly described the extent to which I enjoyed, or enjoyed's not the right word. This isn't like a fun movie, but it's a good, I would say it's a good film and worth watching. Yeah,
Antoine Fuqua with Will Smith. Will Smith is great on it. People are already talking about buzz and Oscar nominations, even though you have to get Will Smith's maybe Will Smith's wife's name out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Anyways, but he does do a terrific job, and Apple again knocking out of the park with great production, great movie for the streaming service audience. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Emancipation is available on Apple TV Plus worldwide. I'm not sure if there's a limited theater release. It might, because they want to go for the definitely they want to go for the awards, so they have to have a theater release at least for a couple of days. But anyways, Apple Plus Emancipation on Apple TV Plus.
Where is it again?
On Apple
Plus. You
reminded
me? Apple Plus TV?
Apple
okay.
TV Plus.
Cool.
The one with the Apple.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So there's that. We're going to spend a minute going through some of the other like pop culture news, and then we're going to get into some of the awards that have already started happening. First off, Michael Bay has been charged with killing a pigeon.
Yeah.
In Italy.
I mean, again, seriously, the waste of time. I guess people see people rich or allegedly rich because, you make
Michael Bay is probably fine.
You make $1 million movie and they think you have $1 million, which is not the case. But and they go for the money. But what happened was in 2018, during the shooting of Underground 6 for Netflix.
Oh, that was a fun movie.
Yeah, and apparently the Italian government accuses him of killing a pigeon, which he said no animal were hurt during the production, so he's denying. But the Italian government's gonna fight, so I guess he's gonna have to lawyer up. But yeah. Meanwhile,
I just feel like there's so many much bigger problems to solve.
Meanwhile, Harvey Weinstein jury cannot make up a decision, and they're trying to push for trial in LA because LA, Hollywood, they cover up all their messes. Yeah. So they're trying to get rid of New York, get out of New York, escaping like the Kurt Russell movie, Escape from New York, and the sequel Escape from LA. Anyways, so yeah, it feels like the Michael Bay thing is like, oh really, a pigeon? Even if he kills it's a freaking pigeon. Yeah. It's a what they call a pest? No, it's a
rat with wings.
It's a disease contaminated.
Yeah, a pest.
Pest.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. Anyways.
So okay. Good for you, Italy, that this is the biggest problem you have. Okay, Ben Affleck seems to be busy in unexpected places this week.
Yeah, he was seen working on the Dunkin Donuts.
Interesting.
He's a declared big fan of the franchise, but he wasn't there for the money. He was there for the money, but not for the Dunkin serving money. He was there for a commercial. He was there filming an ad. But it definitely surprised anyone that would see. It's like freaking Batman is selling the donuts. Yeah. Which reminds me of a Gal Gadot commercial on Instagram or it pops on live stories or Facebook, whatever they call it, TikToks, whatever. She arrives in all in black, black pants, black jacket, with a black helmet, with the face showing. But it's like camera security type of camera in front of the door. She comes in front of the door to deliver something. I was like, what's going on? And then she grabbed some product. I don't know what it was. I don't care. But it reminds me of that type of commercial.
Sure. Well, lucky for those Dunkin' customers. Disney employees are not thrilled with their new boss, who's the same as their old boss.
Yeah, some entitled people. It's so ridiculous. So Bob Iger came back to Disney. Bob Iger came back to Disney. He's the new CEO. And just recently, I think last Monday, he sent an email to other employees telling them they have to go back to work.
In the office. They've been working, but no more than remote. So they have to be in the office 4 days a week.
4 days. It's not even 5. So they still have 1 to work at home. Nobody else has. Anyways. Suspending the COVID rules they created back in the height of COVID, and people like freaking out because of that. They pissed off. I was really get a life. Come on, everybody's working 9 to 5, 5, 6, some even 7 days a week in worse situations than Disney's office.
It's true. It's true. But working remotely really worked for a lot of people. But not for everybody. Like it's been, I feel like when and different news agencies have been covering this like ad nauseum, but some people loved it and thrived working from home and now are really upset about having to go back to work. Some people were miserable working from home and really thrive in that office setting. So there's not like a one size fits all.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's not like they don't have a nice place to work. It's Disney Studios offices.
Although California commute, that alone would be a bummer.
Well, that's what they get for keeping electing Democrats.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's on them.
Fair enough. While we're at Disney, they dropped a new trailer for Ant-Man.
Yeah, the trailer is good. If anything, it's actually better than the first one, even though I like the first one, the music, Elton John. What was it?
I don't remember.
Yellow Brick Road.
Yes. That's right, I
really liked it. It was really good. But this one goes deep. It's more personal. It's Steve and Kang. And
this one shows a lot more of Kang as a villain and some of what might be the conflict in the movie.
Yeah, and it's clearly that as the first one hints, it's gonna be a devil in a pact with the devil. And if anything, at the end of the trailer hints that he's like, you think you can win? And it's like, no, but I think we can both lose, something like that.
Yeah.
Which hints that Stephen might. Scott. Who's Stephen?
Rogers.
No, Stephen. I think it was Stephen Lang. It's Scott Lang, right?
It's Scott.
Oh, I think it's something else.
I'm pretty sure it's Scott.
Scott might die, and they already have a replacement. They have his little girl, which is a young girl who become in the books. Eventually, she becomes a superhero, and. They might move into that, which is a very Disney strategy. They shot at this point is the third Ant-Man movie, and plus all the other movies were Ant-Man shows, and they probably signed a contract with Paul Rudd for, let's say, 6 movies. He's been in all 6 movies.
Which means they have to renegotiate, and he's worth a lot more.
He has the high ground. So
plus he's immortal. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Yeah. Like they have no hand.
Let's pick a young actress with more or less no perspective, no gigantic perspectives, and offer her an okay deal for 16 movies. So she's locked as I can't remember her character's name, but let's say the new Ant-Man, Ant-Girl, Ant-Woman. I don't think it's that. Anyways, which is, is there a way to keep moving things? Which it kind of sucks, because if you think there was only 3 Ant-Man movies, if you think like a character like, I don't know, James Bond that has like 30 plus movies. They could do 30 plus Ant-Man movies. They have the source material, but because we talked about before that Disney and Marvel, Kevin Feige created this rule to bring people that don't know the comic books, that don't read the comic books, to do the crap that they do. Anyways, but money. They are in the business of making money, and that's why. They do that kind of deal, and that's why the movies all look the same, because they don't want to risk even a little bit, because they don't want to lose money. But anyways, the trailer looks good. I like how the bad guy look. I like how the good guy look. Even though I think the good guy is gonna screw up and make a pact with the devil, and there's mentions of time and space and time travel and time lost and time they're being recouped. And we'll see. Yeah. I'm excited for it.
I've really enjoyed the character. I've enjoyed his movies.
Yeah.
Even his character in the movie, like his character in Civil War, great. Did not like that movie, but his character, solid.
Yeah, but again, it could be the case of a really good trailer, and the movie turns out to be
we might have already seen all the good parts.
Thunder, that had like this. Anyways, moving on.
Yep. Okay, let's head over to Netflix for a moment. So Zack Snyder, Justice League, there was this incredible fan campaign, #release the Snyder Cut, that got us the Zack Snyder version of the film, and it was wonderful and it was beautiful. And now this whole movement is starting to campaign for Warner Brothers to maybe let Netflix take over the Snyderverse, since Warner Brothers is certainly not doing anything with the great gift that Snyder gave them. So
yeah, it's the movement never stopped. It changed into release the Snyder Cut, into restore the Snyderverse, and then they announced James Gunn, and then they fire James Gunn and Peter Safran, and because they said they're gonna redo the whole thing. Which before James Gunn was hired, I always thought there was like, no, they're keeping these people are smart. They keeping everything secret. They're gonna surprise everybody, and it turned out that they are not smart. They're a bunch of idiots. Dwayne Johnson was smart because he and his former wife fought to bring Cavill back, a Superman. And he tried to keep it secret. It leaked, but when it happened, everybody was happy. Everybody was excited. Henry Cavill was excited. So there was the smart people in that place. And then when they hired James Gunn, it's like, okay, let's see. And then he announced no Henry Cavill, no Gal Gadot. So I like Ben Affleck. I was like, this guy is. Yeah, so there's no smart. So that movement out of the blue, which is weird. Not so weird because Zack Snyder is working for Netflix on his Rebel Moon, his Star Wars movie that Disney refused. It's like, nah, we don't want it. We pass it on. So it's like, fine, I'll do it myself. Yeah. And he's doing it with Netflix. And so this past week it started this movement. Netflix gonna acquire the rights for the Snyderverse and finishing it, which it would go very apart to what happens to HBO Max, where the Snyder Cut happened. It was on streaming, and it was this phenomenon, and appeased and pleased the fans. And everybody had, like, Snyder finished his movie, the fans got what they wanted, and everybody loved it. So Netflix would be a very good place. I honestly don't know if the movement is organic, and by organic I mean some fan had this great idea, or if there's like if this is PR working, PR working by who?
I don't know, Netflix. Trying to get it, or Warner Brothers trying to...
No, Warner wouldn't do that because they
I don't know.
But if it's based on a rumor, maybe there are conversations already, and maybe someone leaked it and to pump the masses, and it's trending everywhere. It's happening. Yeah. But we don't know if it's true, if it will ever happen.
It might have been a very sad Henry Cavill.
But
who just really wants to be Superman again.
I don't know. He's busy. He's gonna do Warhammer 40,000. But Netflix was successful with DC. They did Sandman, but before that they resurrected Lucifer from the hell of broadcast TV. Yeah, and they did a couple seasons. And so that's buying from DC, it's buying really good product in probably, how can I say, it's talking like the stock market is buying low to sell high. So if you buy the Snyderverse, you're buying cheap because they don't want it, right? So you could buy cheap and you could sell high because you would get a lot of subscribers just because of that. Because that's what happened to HBO Max. The between Game of Thrones and the Snyderverse helped. So is the DC content. But anyways, more to come. We keep you update with the Snyderverse movements.
We will.
Hashtag
restore the Snyderverse.
Netflix buy the Snyderverse.
Just restore the Snyderverse. Anyone, please. We're begging you.
Tag fight James. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see. Well, in the meantime, still with Netflix, The Witcher Blood Origin has Netflix's lowest audience score ever.
Yeah, it's like 9%.
9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
We didn't see yet. We will see. We saw The Witcher was good.
I loved it. Yeah.
We saw the animation was good.
It was good.
This one, I don't know.
It's making me wonder if, is The Witcher really good or is Henry Cavill really good? And the show is good because we're just spending a lot of quality time with Henry Cavill's sword.
But because he's there, or because he's there and making sure they respect the source material, or because he's simply there? Because he's simply there, and he was like a producer forcing the production to be on rails to the source material. They could put anyone else, but again, I don't know. One of the rumors that caused his leaving the show was that he was making people uncomfortable, which I think is ridiculous. Especially some female characters, female actresses, were feeling uncomfortable because he was pushing too hard for the source material. I was like, but it's not like the source material gonna show you all being raped or disrespected. It does have some nudity in some, but it's like it's fantasy.
They weren't shy about the nudity in the first couple seasons, though.
Yeah,
we saw a lot of several people.
There's rumor. He definitely is a big fan, so he knows, and he was known and talked about he would quote the books and I don't know. Either way, he's out. Next season is gonna be his last, and they're gonna get one of the Hemsworths.
Liam.
But this new show we didn't see yet.
But it's not promising.
But apparently, yeah.
Which is too bad.
Something else that is not. We're going. Where are we?
Yeah.
Okay. Something else that is not. Before we move into more fantasy. Something else that is doing terribly, but terribly. I think was 3. Is the new Velma show. The new Mindy Kaling Velma is apparently really bad.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's too bad, super bad. Everywhere else, people saying there's it's a waste, which is a big hit for HBO Max and Warner again, because they canceled a bunch of stuff that never made the light of day. They renewed some shows that's nope, never mind, we're not going to release the shows. And they released this one, so might not see another season.
Yeah.
Or because it's so bad, it might make people watch to be, curious about it.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's doing really poorly. And yeah.
Honestly, this is making me rethink the whole Batgirl decision. Remember they announced that they canceled it? They were just going to scrap the whole project. And we were great, cut the fat, let's focus on the good stuff. But then they went on to cancel so much really good stuff. It makes me wonder, was this actually a good film? Or was this going to be a fun movie? Because some of the stars have been releasing some of their behind the scenes photos and stuff, and which doesn't necessarily indicate a lot about the movie, but at least the costumes look good. They seem to all have a good time making it. And these executives have been making, since then, they've been making some what I think are objectively terrible decisions. I don't know. Maybe that could have been a really good thing. Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm willing to eat crow.
Yeah. Either way, Velma show by Mindy Kaling is a disaster.
Not going well.
It's really bad.
Okay.
It's the best comment, the best thing I heard about the show is that unfortunately is a waste of time. So and that was the best one. So, yeah.
All right. Well. Something that promises to not be a waste of time is the new Dungeons and Dragons movie, and it's been set as the opening night film for South by Southwest.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a big first night at the festival.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I look forward to it. What's going on with the Gladiator sequel?
Okay, Ridley Scott is making a Gladiator sequel, which I still don't know how it's gonna be since Maximus dies. But it has a new actor joining the production, Paul Mescal.
Do you know who that is?
He's the son of Mr. and Mrs. Mescal.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. He looks familiar, but I didn't check details.
Okay.
One day when it comes closer, we'll see. And also when we get details on who the heck's gonna be, young Maximus,
it could be.
his son. His son actually died, but I guess the little kid that looked like the little girl, that was the son of the pretty emperor's daughter, Connie Nielsen, that we saw yesterday on Nobody. We watched Nobody yesterday, right. But we said she was on Wonder Woman. She was the sister of Commodus. And there was this whole incest, and she mentioned a husband, incest insinuations. There was she mentioned a husband, but she mentioned a romance with Maximus. So it's not clear if the kid is Commodus, Maximus, or the supposedly or the father. The kid is red hair, as she is. So it could go either way. Yeah. But anyways, you don't know his character. As it comes closer. We find out who he is, and we go and see what he's done. I'm pretty sure he's done other things.
So, as Gladiator is moving forward, Workaholics has come to an end.
No, it's not.
Well, the movie was.
The movie, yeah. So they were all set to start filming. The movie was ready, like script ready, location spec'd, rehearsed the actors, and boom. Paramount said, nah, no just thanks. Kidding. No.
That's gotta suck so bad.
Yeah.
If you were gonna be on that project, like, oh man.
Yeah. At this point, of course, they're gonna try to shop the movies somewhere else, but nothing yet until the taping, the recording of this show. But we'll see. Maybe next week we come with good news.
Yeah, we'll see. What's going on with 24?
24.
You said 24 streaming.
24 streaming. 24 streaming. That's such a good question. I
sure
don't
is.
remember my notes.
Yeah? Okay. Well, how about Jennifer Hudson.
Jennifer Hudson. Yes, she got her Jennifer Hudson talk show.
Oh, that's right.
Early renewed, so
good for her.
She's doing good. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
She's very charming.
Yeah.
I've never seen the show, but I'm pretty sure that it's
she's doing something right.
It's entertaining.
Yeah. That's great. Another show that we actually do watch regularly and super love is Ghost on CBS, and they've gotten renewed for a third season.
Also early renewed. It's fun.
It's so good.
Yeah. That girl can go far. The guy too, but she had a fully syndicated show on CW, iZombie. Before that, she was a Power Ranger. She had a series of movies, The Princess, whatever.
That's right, the like Christmas princess ones.
And now she's on this. So if she maybe next she would move to movies and pick the right roles. She has future.
Yeah, and she's found a really great niche of like playing somebody who communicates with the dead.
Yes. Which
is a very bizarre niche, but it's hers and she's rocking it, and it's delightful. The show's very fun, funny. Every now and then it's broadcast, so it's not too inappropriate. We watch it with our kids, and they enjoy it. Anyway, it's just a blast. Okay, another show that got renewed was Pitch Perfect Bumper in Berlin.
Yes, a spin-off on the Pitch Perfect movie series. This one with Adam Levine from Workaholics. And he was the one that broke the news about the cancellation of Workaholics movie. But anyways, and the girl from, I can't remember her name, the girl from Modern Family. The prettier one, not the nerdy one. The
oldest.
Yeah. Anyways.
Shoot, what was her name? Well, anyway. Okay, The Walking Dead is coming. There's going to be a spinoff.
Yeah, centered on Michonne and Rick Grimes' story. What happens next? So that's set for 2024.
Yep.
Also, there's another Walking Dead property that's gonna show Meg and what's his bucket? The bad guy, Negan. Meg and Negan going to New York, and you're gonna see the big city.
Yeah.
Dead. Anyways.
Okay. That's kind of cool. Okay, Neil Gaiman fans have been worried, concerned, upset. Apparently David calming.
He keeps calming people about the show, the Sandman show on Netflix, that the show's gonna happen. At this point, he keeps saying that so much that maybe it's not gonna happen.
I don't know. I mean, you mean like another season? Yeah.
Because I wasn't, but no, don't worry. He's like, wait, now I'm worried.
Should I be worried? Oh, bless. Well, thanks to public domain laws and the fact that Sherlock Holmes was written a very long time ago, he's finally legally allowed to smile again.
Completely on completely on public domain since January 1st. Now the character can smile, and the reason is because until January 6th, part of the property, the intellectual property, they included a more warmer Sherlock Holmes, was still copyrighted, so it couldn't be used openly and freely. So that's why you always said that you saw that Sherlock Holmes somber and dark and never making a joke, or since January 1st, you're going to be able to see this warmer side of Sherlock Holmes more in predominance, since, it's free. You don't have to pay anyone. Yeah.
Yeah. The character's already inspired all kinds of spin-offs and based-ons and inspired bys and adaptations. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Adaptations.
Yeah,
so imagine now that he's...
Somber, dark, light, funny, there's all of them. But now...
But now that's fully public domain, I imagine we'll see more, which is not a bad thing. Okay, Nicolas Cage is a big nerd.
So he was asked, it's like, would you like to be in Star Wars? Would you like to be part of the Star Wars universe, be a character in Star Wars? And he said, no.
Because he's a big Trekkie.
He said, I'm a big Trekkie. So...
Now, setting aside the very obvious, like, apples and oranges, you can't compare the two, you can love them both. One's sci-fi, one is space fantasy. Setting all of that aside, Star Trek fans have now been trying to have been sort of fantasy fan casting Nicolas Cage's different Star Trek characters.
Yeah?
So, some of my favorites have been... Oh, no, well, now I'm forgetting all of them. He's definitely got a face to play a Vulcan or a Romulan. So some people have suggested Cybok, who is part of the Spock family, who hasn't really been brought back very much. Oh, no, they did bring him back a little bit. Either way, he'd make a great Cybok. Personally, I don't really want to see more reinterpreted versions of old characters. I'd rather see him do something new, but I think he'd be a great addition. Yeah. Like, Star Trek is making so much right now, and Nicolas Cage is well known for doing almost anything, taking all the jobs. So, let's cast him. Let's take advantage of this. Mm-hmm. Let the nerd be a nerd. He didn't really get to be Superman, so
it will be. Oh yeah, he mentioned. I don't know if you talked about this in the past, but there was like 3 roles he really wanted to be.
That's right.
Superman, Dracula. What's the other one?
Oh shoot. It was something similar to something he's done, wasn't it?
And no, I mean Superman and Dracula. Oh no, it wasn't.
Because
he's Dracula. I think he was Dracula once. In the Kiss of the Vampire, he's gonna do on Ransfield.
Yeah.
And he was cast.
He did like
Superman
the costume and screen test
for Tim Burton's Never Came to Life. Superman Lives.
Shoot, what was the third one?
I can't remember. We check. We come back to it.
Yeah.
But anyway. Jesus, no, he's probably a Jew. Anyways, yeah. What else?
Okay, well, also with Star Wars, there's a really interesting deleted scene.
Yeah, there's a little scene that indicates that Count Dooku help or programmed or manipulate things. So he basically killed Anakin's mother. So helping Palpatine architectize, planify, and strategize and put into his plan to which goes towards the theory that Anakin was the son of either Palpatine or Plagueis. Through the Force they manipulate the Force, or if you may, midi-chlorians, and created this
to make that happen.
Yeah.
So, you know, I kind of...
It's theory. It's rumors. That's not. That's not absolute.
Well, that's really interesting and builds out, I think, the whole Palpatine. It builds out Dooku's character as an assistant to Palpatine or an apprentice. I don't know. I think that's a cool idea.
Anyways,
I like that. All right, let's talk about some awards. We've had the Golden Globes. They happened earlier this week, and the SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, has announced their nominees for the year. So let's have a chat about that.
Yeah. As just a quick note about SAG Awards, the nominations. We're not going to talk about the nominations, but since we start talking about SAG, the 24 is streaming is that in 2024, the SAG Awards will be streamed on Netflix. Okay,
interesting.
So let's go to Golden Globes.
Okay. Yeah, so
let's see the winners.
Okay, the ceremonies didn't do well. They got a low rating, which, like, why are we even saying it?
Yeah.
This is
nobody's
not
watching
surprising
these anymore. I posted this. I posted this on my page and our page, and someone said, "Oh, the Golden Globes, do they still televise that?" And it's like, yeah, that's how
they didn't last year, and I don't think anybody cared. Yeah.
There's reaching tight to people claiming, like Gerard Carmichael was the host, and he was like, "I'm here because I'm black." He was like playing the victim, and everybody was like, "Ooh." So yeah. Anyways, it's not as entertaining as it used to be, and people have options, have streaming. You know, they can go golf, ski, use drugs,
watch paint dry.
Yeah. Anyways,
so many other more interesting things.
Anyways, let's go to the winners real quick.
Okay, Best Picture Drama was The Fabelmans.
Which is
love to see
fair. It was it beat some. Who it beat?
Oh, it beat out Avatar, Elvis, Tar, Maverick. Yeah, that's who it beat.
Yeah. So Top Gun was there, but The Fabelmans is an excellent movie.
Yeah,
it beats.
It definitely deserved it, and not just because it's Spielberg.
Yeah.
It was just a solid movie.
Yeah.
Okay, for Best Picture Musical Comedy, it was Banshees of Inisherin.
We didn't see that one yet, but everybody's talking good about it. And, and the contenders are not that, Well,
there's some good ones, but Cate Blanchett won Best Actress in a Drama for her role in Tar.
Which is creating controversy because one of the musicians which the movie was based is really pissed. Because she's calling the movie an anti-woman because they make the lead character, Cate Blanchett, as an abuser.
Yeah.
Which we didn't see the movie, you don't know those details, but yeah.
She has an interesting argument about it that, I mean, I could definitely see both sides, but also how it's frustrating to see, well, yeah, we could talk about that another time. So Cate Blanchett won for Tar. She was up against some powerhouses, Olivia Colman, Viola Davis, Ana de Armas, and Michelle Williams. So she beat out some pretty impressive women for that. Austin Butler won for his portrayal of Elvis.
Yeah. Beating a big contender on that one was Brendan Fraser for The Whale.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Michelle Yeoh won Best Actress for a Musical Comedy.
And she received the award, they start playing her out, and she said, "No, don't do that. I'll beat the crap out. I can beat you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell won for comedy for Banshees of Inisherin,
which is I don't know. I didn't know it was a comedy, but hey, it's holiday.
I mean, it's
comedy.
Yeah, the comedy musical, like it's
if there's one
it's
joke,
in quotes.
If there's one joke, even if it's a not funny joke, I guess it's comedy. Angela Bassett won for Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, well deserved. She was incredible in that. And Ke Huy Quan won also for Everything Everywhere All at Once. So good for him. Spielberg won Best Director, along with...
Wait, James Cameron didn't win that one?
Yeah. Does anyone care? No? Nobody? Okay, cool.
Oh, James Cameron said something with reason this week. I was like, wow. He said he's admire Zack Snyder. He wants to be like Zack Snyder. He's the kind of director he aims to be like. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like surprisingly humble and good for you. Good for you, Mr. Cameron.
It's always about him, but I guess this time it wasn't.
Surprised he looked up to anybody.
Screenplay, Martin McDowell for
McDonough.
The Banshees
for
of
Banshees. Yep, animated picture went to Guillermo del Toro.
For Pinocchio.
Yes, I can't say enough good things about that movie.
He beat Disney Pixar.
Oh yeah.
He beat Disney Pixar Turning Red, Puss in Boots.
Marcel the Shell.
Yeah, Marcel the Shell. There was in some controversy this week. The director was like, he's kind of mad that he had to prove that the movie was animation.
Because most of it isn't. I guess it's...
Anyways.
It's like animated! Anyway, Guillermo del Toro's acceptance speech, you should watch it. It is the sweetest, cutest thing that I have seen in a long time. Okay, for best score, we had Justin Hurwitz for Babylon. That's the first good thing I've seen about Babylon.
He beat Joe Williams.
A Bollywood movie won the best song. House of the Dragon won for drama series. Abbott Elementary won for comedy.
Second year winning for Abbott Elementary, a comedy on, I think it's NBC.
Mm-hmm.
White Lotus won for anthology show.
Yep. Amanda Seyfried won.
Amanda what?
Amanda.
She went for The Dropout. I think it's called The Dropout. It's a whole show about what's the bucket? Catherine Kennedy? No.
Nope. Oh shoot, Elizabeth Holmes.
Okay.
Yeah. Evan Peters won for his portrayal of Dahmer.
Dahmer on Netflix.
Yep. Zendaya won for
Zendaya again for Euphoria. Second time she won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's been a while. Kevin Costner won for Yellowstone. Quinta Brunson won for Abbott Elementary. We've really got to check that out. I can't believe we haven't seen it yet.
Jeremy Allen White for The Bear.
Mm-hmm. Jennifer Coolidge for White Lotus. Which is an interesting choice. Paul Walter Hauser won for Blackbird. I was happy to see that. It's a great show. Julia Gardner won for Ozark. Tyler James Williams won for Abbott Elementary. Eddie Murphy took home the Cecil B. DeMille Award.
Yeah.
And those Lifetime Achievement.
And he was
things.
He started this very nice speech about how there's a couple of things you have to do in life to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is I can't remember.
Pay your taxes.
Yeah, respect the others or whatever. Something like really, really. And the third one was and keep the Will Smith's wife's name out of your effing mouth. Yeah. And he brought down the house.
Yeah.
Anyways, well deserved. He has an incredible career. He's a funny guy.
He really does.
For the SAG Awards, the nominations.
Oh, we are going over this.
I mean, real quick.
Okay, I thought you.
I just wanted to see real quick. There's no surprise. There's not a lot of surprises there. Very similar to the Golden Globes. It is always a preview of what.
Yeah, sorry.
A preview what's gonna come in the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a couple good surprises there. Adam Sandler was nominated for the Hudson.
Really?
There was some people got like really, why they nominated? Ana de Armas was nominated for Marilyn, whatever the movie is called. Blonde. So, but I don't know. I think she was okay. maybe Marilyn was. Oh, Daddy. All the time.
But like I've seen, okay, great. I'm not a huge Marilyn fan.
Maybe she was a great actor and she didn't.
But when I see clips of her playing the bimbo roles in her actual movies, she seems stronger and more intelligent than anything Ana de Armas did in any of that entire film, which I realize is not Anna's fault. It's the writers, but like, oh my.
Maybe that's the irony. Maybe
I'm just saying she conveyed way more.
Maybe in real life she was crazy. It's like, who would think that some actor in Hollywood in real life is a crazy, but in the movies it's either a superhero or someone that passes us at least normal.
I'm just saying, I think they could have done so much better than like, Daddy, I can't wear a shirt. Like I just feel like she deserves better. But I've said that before.
Anyways, last but not least, they found a virus. What is the virus?
Siberia. We've definitely talked about this.
Yeah, I don't think you're talking about that.
All right. Well, either way, it's still crazy bad, crazy news.
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, just a virus, an ancient virus was found in the permafrost of Siberia.
Yeah, it's there for thousands of years. And hey, let's check this out. Let's
revive a zombie virus.
Yeah.
So that's happening, in Russia, because apparently nobody in Russia has been paying attention to, like, any movie ever. I could have told you that was a bad idea.
Yeah, anyways, I guess that's it for this week. You come back next week with more pop culture news and entertainment. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.